Hi, my name is Dr. Douglas Mahn, and I'm a periodontist here at Woodside, Sentz and Associates. One of the most common conditions that I treat is gingival recession. Gingival recession is the condition in which the root of the tooth is exposed. Now, the problem with recession is, first, it's an indication that the foundation of the tooth is weak, that there's some weakness or absence of bone and soft tissue. The problem with exposed root surface is that it is 4.5 times softer than the enamel, thereby making it more vulnerable to tooth decay, sensitivity to temperature, and to damage just from toothbrushing. There are a number of ways to treat this problem, but one of the ways that is commonly done is by placing a filling material over the tooth structure. The problem with that is it doesn't really treat the cause of the problem, it's just a patch. In this case, this patient was originally recommended having white or tooth-colored fillings placed over these defects that you can see. The problem is this person already has proportionally long teeth, and to put tooth-colored fillings over those dark areas, over those dark root surfaces, would have made them proportionally even longer, and she'd have the appearance that's sometimes referred to as horsey-looking teeth. In addition, this patient had a relatively gummy smile, meaning that when she smiled and she laughed, her upper lip would move high enough that you could see all the tooth structure and the gum tissue above it. And the appearance and the presence of these lesions really was inhibiting her life, inhibiting her ability to laugh and to smile. And she was very proud of her smile. And so it was affecting her ability to function in her job. So what we offered her was connective tissue grafting. Connective tissue grafting is a procedure in which connective tissue is placed underneath the gum tissue. This tissue here is elastic, so we can pull the gum tissue over the graft. So what this allows us to do is to get root coverage. It allows us to thicken the tissue to prevent further deterioration. I also use tunnel techniques, and there's a variety of them out there. And the purpose of the tunnel technique is to protect this triangular gum tissue, the interdental papillae. Because if you use more traditional techniques, it's common that that tissue would shrink or become blunted. And that leads to a very uncosmetic outcome, and one that is often irreversible. There are two basic sources for the connective tissue graft. The most common, the original source, was the patient's own palate. It's an excellent source of connective tissue, but the problem is the palate has limitations. One is it's a source of considerable pain for the patient. Sometimes it can be the source of bleeding, and there's only so much tissue on the roof of the mouth that you can use, so it's limited in supply. The alternative is to use a soft tissue allograft. That means it's soft tissue that's derived from another human being. Now, the important thing to know about these donor grafts is that all the people they may come from have been tested for terrible diseases, and that the material itself is highly processed. It's processed for terrible diseases, even though none were found in the donor. Second of all the cells are removed. Therefore, there are no cells, no DNA, no membrane markers, nothing that might cause a rejection type of reaction. And then lastly, it's processed for storage purposes. So we don't need to make a special order for it. We have plenty supply of it in this office. So using tunnel techniques, I gently lifted up the gum tissue, then placed the soft tissue graft underneath the gingiva. So there's never any problems with tissue matching. And then this higher portion of the gum tissue, the mucosa, is elastic. And what that allows me to do is to reposition that whole gingival complex over the graft material and over the exposed root surfaces. And this is the type of results that we typically get. This picture was taken only 6 weeks after the first picture was taken, before and after. And what we can see is, first of all, and most obvious, we have complete root coverage. Second, there is no blunting, no shrinkage of the interdental papillae. We can see an overall thickness and health of the mucogingival tissues, which gives us a lot of confidence for long-lasting results. This patient was thrilled with the results. She was thrilled that she didn't have to do fillings. She was thrilled that the results looked so natural.